All right, we're going to talk about all the shifts of the graphs, which we kind of started yesterday. All right, and they all shift similarly. So first, we need to review the parent graphs. So just do quick sketches for me in your notes. So f of x equals x squared. Raise your hand if you can tell me what that shape is. X squared, okay? A parabola, okay? So the parent graph of the parabola always starts at 0, 0 and goes up and makes a U shape, okay? So x squared is called a parabola. All right, and then g of x equals x cubed. Who can tell me what the x cubed graph looks like? Drew? Yep. Okay, so we're going to rise to the right, and we're going to fall to the left. And it also goes through 0, 0. Okay. And now we have p of x equals the absolute value of x. So absolute value, Bethany, what's that look like? Yep, looks like a V. So we start at 0, 0, and we have a very straight line going this way, and a very straight line going this way. And Andrew, can you tell me what the square root graph looks like? Yeah. Okay, it's like a sideways parabola, but there's only half of it, right? So it kind of looks like that. All right, so those are all the parent graphs, and now we're going to shift them from the 0, 0 place. So everything moves from 0, 0, the origin. All right, so vertical shifts. All right, so if we have any number added or subtracted and it's outside of the function, right, like this plus 1. So this plus 1, raise your hand if you can tell me what that's going to do to the parabola. Corey? Yep, up 1. Okay, so just do a quick sketch. These don't have to be perfect on your notes, right? We've got a parabola because it's x squared, shifted up 1. So now we're at up 1, and we draw our parabola. Same thing on the cubic function, right? We have a plus 1 on the outside of the function, so that goes up 1. So we move it up 1, and then we rise right, fall left. Okay, now we have the square root graph, and we have a minus 1 outside of the square root. So who can tell me what that's going to do, Monica? Ooh. Yes, down 1. It reflects if there's a negative in front. We'll do those in a minute. So this is going to go down 1. All right, so that means I have a point down 1, and then you got to remember the square root graph looks like that. Okay, so it goes down 1. And we've got absolute value of x minus 1. Same thing, this minus 1, which is outside of the function, moves it down 1. And now we have the V shape because it's absolute value. Okay. All right, horizontal shifts. So the difference here is, on the last slide, everything was outside of the function, so all the shifts were up and down. Now notice we're inside the parentheses on the x squared, we're underneath the house on the square root, we're inside the parentheses on the x cubed, and we're inside the absolute value signs. So if it's inside the function, you have to remember it's always, anybody remember what we did yesterday? Opposite, and which way do we shift it? Does it go up or down? What do you think? Left or right? Good. So we're always going to go left or right, and it's opposite of what you think, okay? Whoops. So on this one, we've got f of x equals x minus 1 squared. So minus 1, typically you guys would think, well, minus 1 would be over here, but it's opposite, so we're actually going to move it right 1. Okay? So it's x squared. So I'm going to move it right 1. And we've got a parabola because the whole thing is squared. So the bottom of that parabola is just shifted right 1 on the x-axis. Okay, raise your hand if you know what this shift is going to be for our square root graph. Isaac? Yep, right 2. So since it's minus 2, we're going to shift it right 2. And this time it's a square root graph. Okay. All right, now we've got g of x equals x plus 3 cubed. So Lucas, can you tell me which way I'm going to shift it? Very good. Left 3. It's the cube graph this time, so I'm going to put a point over here, shifting left 3 from 0, 0. And I'm still rising right, falling left for my cube graph. Okay. And Sophie, how about this one? What's this guy going to do? Good, left 4. And it's an absolute value, so we've got the V graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, left 4, and we've got our V. Okay. All right, we also have reflections. So we've done vertical shifts, which is up or down, horizontal shifts, which is left or right if it's inside the function, and now we've got reflections over the x-axis. What do you notice about all of these functions that's different than the other ones? Someone who has not participated yet? Anybody? Notice anything? Ella? Yeah, there's a negative in front of the function. So if there's a negative in front of the function, that is going to reflect it over the x-axis. So for the first one, we have a parabola because it's x squared. Normally that goes up, right? On this one, because we have the negative in front, it's going to make our parabola go down. And that's it. Okay? So it's reflecting over the x-axis. Okay, cube graph. This one might be a little more difficult to see. Let me just sketch. So here's the parent graph, right? If I reflect it over the x-axis, what's going to happen is it's actually going to rise left, fall right. Okay, so you don't need to draw that sketch part just so you guys could kind of see how it reflects. Okay, it goes the other way. All right, for the square root graph, normally the square root graph looks like this, so if I reflect it over the x-axis, it's going to look like this. Okay, mirror image on the other side. And normally our V graph goes up, but for absolute value with negative in front, our V graph goes down. I'll give you guys a minute to write that. All right, so let's write down the general function right here. Okay, so f of x, this could be a y value, this could be a of x, p of x, right? Those are they just mean the output. Okay, it's like y. So the a in front, if it's negative, reflects over the x-axis. Okay, this just says the function, f of some function. Okay, so this might be absolute value. This might be x squared. This might be square root, right? So this is a general any function. If it's inside the function, we always move left, right, and it's always opposite. So plus 2 means left 2. Okay? And then this plus k means we shift it up or down. So anything outside of the function, up or down. You will see this a lot with parabolas, with all the functions when you get to higher levels with the variables like that. So we're going to combine our shifts now, and we're going to do a couple of shifts. Okay? So Leah, can you tell me what shape, first of all, it's going to be if we have these? A V. So we have absolute value, so it's going to be a V. Okay? So Alex, what's this x plus 3 inside the function going to do? Left 3. Good. Okay, and Julia, what's the minus 2 on the outside going to do? Down 2. All right, so I'm going to go left 3. Start at 0, 0, always. Okay, go left 3, down 2, put a point, and it's an upward V. I did that a little too skinny, but there you go. Upward V, okay, with no reflection. All right, let's try it.